In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the holographic transmission Count Dooku for the Legacy Collection, another action figure that's been on my itinerary to get for a number of years now at this point, but it's just one of those ones where I was hoping to find the right deal, which I did. I paid less than $10 for this guy here, not too bad. But I was just waiting for the right time as well, and that time has finally come, because I hope here within the next winter or two, I can go outside and make some displays with all the Ambush on Ilum action figures here. And now that I have them all, Count Dooku was the last one I wanted to add to that in order to kind of reenact that last bit of the sequence where we see the transmission of Count Dooku from one of the chameleon droids there saying, "You will find the temple on Ilum, destroy it." This Dooku's not necessarily geared for that scene, but he'll definitely fit along perfectly with it. And I know not everyone's huge fans of these holographic action figures, but I've always kind of liked them. Back in the day in 2006, I distinctively recall seeing a lot of these peg-worn from the end of the Saga collection days. And it seems like public opinion hasn't really changed for them over the years. But I would like to add some of them, especially the main Sith Lords like Vader, Dooku, Maul, Sidious. Commander Cody would be nice to add, and maybe some of the Jedi as well. So, an image of Christopher Lee as Dooku there. Count Dooku holographic transmission. First phase of Legacy Collection. We have the former Jedi is in league with the Trade Federation and the cyborg General Grievous to propel his galaxy-wide revolt. Dooku communicates with his allies via a hologram transmission to coordinate the next steps in his quest to overthrow the Republic. And the other action figures from the wave, I do have the Imperial Engineer, the Salkamai Trooper, and the Coruscant landing platform Clone Trooper reviewed on channel. Yaddle and Evan Peel I plan to get at some point, but I haven't decided if I'm going to get the Jedi Council Chamber set or this one instead. These ones are just slight updates to the paint apps. And Jodel Cast, I have the Kmart exclusive one. Not sure about getting this one at some point, but perhaps I will. He's number 21. And then the Build-A-Droid part is the RM2 5D6 RA7, which I do have an individual review of on the channel. I'd recommend checking out. But I will go ahead and get Count Dooku opened up here. Take a closer look at him. So always nice to add more Count Dookus to the collection, and this figure is no exception. He's very nice. He turned out really well. From my understanding, he is just a straight repaint of one of the previous Dookus from the era. I think from the Evolution set in particular. Which I do not have that action figure, so this is a unique one for me. Can't really see a whole lot of the details in the face or anything like that because of all blue and clear plastic. But it does get the point across. Definitely tell this is Dooku. Looks like he has a number on the back of his cape there, like 5 or something like that. We'll take that off here in a moment. I think I gotta pop its head off. In fact, we'll just do that right now. 2 actually. You can see that right there. Now, I do think a lot of these holographic action figures you have to be careful of with as well, because similar to chameleon droids that we looked at previously, the plastic on some of them can be kind of brittle. So no matter which one, I would recommend being careful. Like I can feel it already in the shoulders here. They feel not necessarily brittle, but they feel like they do have the potential where they could break off. So something to be careful of there. see a lot of the joints as well. You can see the waist joint and the inside of his torso there. He is super articulated. I will be careful about showing that. Of course, the ball joint, the head, and then hinged shoulders, hinged elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist there. I think swivel hips, yeah. Then hinged knees. Then he does have hinged ankles, but again, be careful with that. Has the soft goods for the skirt here, which is a very thin material. Does look like it has potential to fray a little bit. In terms of accessories, if you count his cloak here, which is all plastic, you have his lightsaber, which is holographic as well. Don't think the blade is removable. I think in this case it would have been better, instead of maybe having the lightsaber like this, just having an ununited hilt for his belt. Because I don't think too often we really see Dooku in combat during a holographic transmission, and figure like this, more often than not, you're just going to have them kind of standing there doing an announcement or a speech anyway, so might have made a little more sense in that case, but that's all right. I don't think he really has a spot on his belt for a hilt anyway. But yeah, most people are probably just going to have him standing like this, for instance. But he does hold the lightsaber all right in his hand. And then for the arm, the droid here, like I said, I have a review of it on the channel. I guess I can complete a second one at some point, potentially. Most of the action figures are easy army builders. And then, of course, the pamphlet, which I've showed this off on the channel lots of times before. So, like I said, for this Dooku, I intended to kind of reenact that ending sequence. Perhaps if I get good with editing, I can kind of stimulate a holographic transmission from one of these droids, showing off Count Dooku saying his lines at the end of the Ilum sequence. It looks pretty good. I would say for the most part I have the entire arc complete. Just gotta repair the poor droid here. But would I recommend this Dooku for your collection? I would, if you're a fan of this type of niche collecting. It is very nice. I would say probably one of the more better holographic action figures, because he's a little bit of a newer sculpt at the time, while most of the ones I'm thinking of, like Ki-Adi-Mundi or Maul, for instance, were borrowing from the Phantom Menace molds. Well, very nice action figure. Anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support, and check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.